Hey, everybody, welcome to the T3 Fit Scoliosis podcast. On today's episode, we have Darlene underscore XOXO is her name on Instagram. I'm going to refer to her as Darlene. Darlene, welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about your story of the time that you were diagnosed until the present?
Okay, so I was first diagnosed, so as far as I can remember, around 8 years old. I started actually getting pains around like 5, actually. Like I just started. I always had back pains from like holding book bags and stuff like that, and it was just more than my family members. And so never really told my mom or anything like that, but it started really around like pre-K, preschool. Like as soon as I put a book bag on my back, it just felt like weird, and I felt like my posture was off. I always had to like put one strap more than the other, and it just felt like I wasn't even at all. That's pretty much when I remembered. But when I was diagnosed, it was around 8. But really, I started going to the doctor and doing something about it when I was like 11 years old. So when I really got x-rays for it, and they actually noticed that it was like a spine curvature down the lower of my back. But yeah, that's about, yeah, 10 years old, 8 years old.
So when you first noticed it, you said you were about 5 or 6.
Yeah, from wearing book bags from not pre-K, from kindergarten, because I never went to pre-K. From kindergarten, from holding like just a regular book bag, with a folder, a notebook, regular book bag. I started like having really bad back pains.
Okay. Did you you noticed it because the straps were uneven?
Yeah, I was like, it was a not so much of a big difference, but I'm a very observant, and I was always observant child and always aware of like myself and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I just always knew that there was just something weird. My mom used to just tell me that everybody was like that, but I just didn't feel right.
Okay.
I didn't feel right at all.
And were you the first person to have scoliosis in your family that you know of? Or how did
uh,
that like
yeah, yeah, I think so.
nobody had ever discussed any
You broke up.
I see your dog. Can you hear
Oh
him?
yeah, he's
He's so cute.
thank
So
you.
cute.
His name is Timber.
Hi, Timber. He's adorable. I'm a huge dog fan. I'm a huge dog fan.
Oh, I love.
So, okay, so I want to backtrack a little bit. You said something about that when you were 5 or 6 that you first felt the discomfort in your back, and you said something about your family. Um, that that your like your did your family notice
Oh
anything
yeah,
different in your back?
because I'm around the same age. I'm around the same age as my sister and my cousin. So we went to school, all school to the same school together.
Okay,
So we all used to go to school together. And I maybe it was because they never wore their book bag like me, or I don't know, but like they used to wear either one shoulder or just regular, but they always like wore it evenly, and they
okay,
were fine unless they just didn't speak about it.
okay,
But it was just uncomfortable for me.
okay, okay. So
But
you just
that's why because we all went to school together.
got
My
it.
cousin is the same age. My sister is 2 years older than me,
Okay,
and we went to the same school from kindergarten to 8th grade.
okay, okay.
It
So
was
they
all one.
one school, everybody. So they always saw the differences in everybody's backs.
No, no, they didn't see the differences, but I was the only one that complained, like really complained about being bothered by wearing a book bag.
Okay,
Like,
okay,
and my mom noticed that. She was just like, "Well, do you want to go?" And I never said that I wanted to go until around 8 years old, and I was just like, "All right," I was probably like, what, like I don't even know what age I was. I mean, what grade I was at 8 years old. What grade? Second grade? First grade?
I've
Well,
long
I'm
past that.
7 now, so.
So okay, so you were diagnosed, and then did you find out what your curves were when you were diagnosed?
that age, it wasn't as severe as it was now. So it was just about a C. It was just on my lower back.
Okay.
It just was on my lower back by
Okay.
you know, a I don't know what's called, my horse
The
bone or
the
whatever.
the lumbar
The end of
area,
my yeah.
the lumbar part.
So it was around 10 years old when I got an X-ray. 10 or 11 years old when I actually got an X-ray for it.
Okay. And
At 8 years didn't find anything, or they didn't want to like take it seriously or whatever, because they thought that I would just grow out of it, you know.
okay. And then when you had the X-ray, what happened then?
I started having to go to exercising like around 2 times a week, and then I eventually stopped going actually until about like 10 years old. Um,
Do you
and
remember what
then
type of
don't know much.
exercising it was, or how long ago it was? What year?
It Exercising was I had to like kneel back and then stretch forward, front, back into the middle.
Okay.
That I had to do that a couple of times, and then like reach up, right and left
Okay.
and, to the side. And I had to also like try to put my head to my knees
Okay.
and hold myself like
Okay.
standing straight. I don't know what the exercises are called at all.
Okay. So you don't know if it was specifically designed for scoliosis.
No, but they said that it would help straighten my spine, and
Okay.
that goal of the exercises at that time.
Okay. Do you remember what year that was?
Mm-mm.
Okay. But you were
I
10.
agree. Yeah, around 10, 11 years old.
Okay. Okay. Um, okay, wait. So you're 27 now, right?
Yes, 27.
So 17 years ago. So it was early 2000s.
Yeah, yeah. I'm guessing so. Yes.
Okay, because I'm just asking because there's a specific type of physical therapy or a
Mm-hmm.
specific type of therapy called Schroth that is
Sure.
Schroth, and it's designed for people who have scoliosis. So I was wondering if you were introduced to it at that time.
I'm not sure. They
Okay.
used to get work out, but now I can't remember the
Okay.
paperwork.
Okay. So you were doing the exercises for, as many of us do, a short amount of time
Yeah.
or a certain amount of time. And and then what happened? You were in high school. Did your back feel worse?
Yep.
Did
Started
you,
to feel worse because the book started to get heavier. Started
okay.
to get
Okay.
Started to have to get more homework. So
Okay.
I eventually at one point asked my mom to get a bowling bag,
Okay.
and uh, back then wasn't cool at all for a rolling bag. So it was quite embarrassing, but it was something that I eventually had to suck it up and ask for
Okay.
because it was too much. And I was one to just always bring every textbook that I needed for homework because I felt like I would need it. So I just need to bring most of them. So I finally asked my mom for a rolling bag, and I used to get made fun of from my siblings,
Okay.
my sister and stuff. They didn't want to like walk with me with a rolling bag.
I remember those days.
It's like memories are coming back to me now. It's hilarious. But yeah, so I had a rolling bag because I couldn't take the pain from holding it on my back anymore. And then they always used to break. They weren't strong at all. So they
Okay.
always break. So it was very frustrating and end up having to like carry them most of the time or stuff. Or I just like decided to just not use them anymore because they weren't reliable. I might eventually one time ask for a suitcase, a hard suitcase, just because those weren't working. So
So you chose the
I'm like,
next best
I,
thing.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I eventually was just like, nah, I don't want that because I imagine how I would look even more embarrassing and
Okay.
even more, get made fun of even more for that.
Yeah. Espe-
So
Especially when you're a teenager, it's always a good
oh
time.
my god, it was horrible. Okay, it was horrible. I remember I had this black and red one. It was like so boyish, but I didn't care. Back then I was like a tomboy. I used to always want to like wear pants or whatever. But so I had this one black and red one, and then I had this turquoise and black one that was so nice. I had like stripes on it, and it was pretty. It was my favorite one, but that was the one that really broke. Like it was a disaster. I used it so much.
Wear and tear, wear and tear.
There.
So how was it in high school? With your back, like
So
did
well, eventually, I had a locker,
okay.
so I can just leave my stuff there, and I would just like I eventually had a cell phone, so I would just like take pictures, or if I needed like a certain page or whatever for. But I used to start to wear purses back then.
So, Darlene, tell us a little bit. You had to wear a brace. Can you share that with us? What that was like? How were you fitted for the brace, and how long did you have to wear it for?
Wow. I was fitted for the brace. I don't really remember how I was fitted for the brace, but I had to wear it for about like 2 years around the time I started working retail. It was about 15, 16. I was in high school. Um, I had to wear it for a while, but it was so uncomfortable to me, honestly, to wear that while working and standing for 8 hours a day, going from school to work to wear that brace. Very uncomfortable. Yes, it helps you with your posture or whatever, but it was very uncomfortable. And you can tell that I was wearing something. So people used to ask me, like, what are you doing? Are you waist training? I'm like, no, it's a brace for my scoliosis. And then I was just like, oh, you have scoliosis? And they started asking me questions about it.
Okay.
But I would say I wore it for about 2 years, and then I stopped just because I just didn't want to wear it anymore. So I just had to just endure the pain standing up for multiple hours a day, working retail, working at a clothing store in Harlem. Um, and then eventually, a couple years later, around 17, 18, I decided to get one from just a CVS store, just a regular back brace that you did, one of those Velcro ones.
Right.
And I used to wear it either above my shirt and didn't care at that point. Like
Okay.
I was like, you know what, if they want to say something, they can say something. But I used to just really have to wear it, and it would keep me up so straight. Those
Okay.
were actually kind of better than I mean, I don't really remember how it was to wear the one that I was fitted for, but that one kept me up more straight. I felt like, because I was able to like really like put it velcro.
Adjust it.
Yeah, but adjusted. The other one was like form fitting for me already.
Okay. Okay.
um and I don't really remember, like it was so long ago, I don't really remember how it felt to wear that one. But when I wore the velcro one that I bought from, I remember, CVS, it felt so much better. Like it helped me breathe better. Like immediately I was up straight, and I was just like, ah.
Because there was no compression of pushing things in or pulling things, moving the body, manipulating the body
Yeah, it
with
was
the
more just
brace,
like keeping me up.
just like
So
like a little bit of a mini corset.
yep, exactly.
And then, do you remember if you, when for the brace that you that you wore for the 2 years, was it made of plaster, or did you do like, did they scan your body? Do you remember that?
I believe they scanned my body. They had me like do different postures, and they had me stand up straight, and they put something here, and that one didn't work. And then they just kept measuring. Like they used, it was like kind of like a hard material.
Hard plastic.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of, it was kind of like that.
Okay, because they used to do it where they would wrap you in plaster, and then
Mm-mm.
the plaster would dry, and then they would saw it off, and that's how the braces would be molded. You would use that as your model for the brace,
Uh,
for the back brace.
I didn't do that.
Okay. Okay. And then how long did you have to wear the brace? Were you supposed to wear it all day?
I was supposed to wear it all day.
Okay.
hmm
And that lasted about 2 years.
Yeah, because you know, never really stuck with anything. We're being honest here.
We're totally being honest. Listen, there are many teenagers, we all struggled.
Yeah.
My brace, I had two and I struggled, and I was like, I'm not wearing it.
I'm like, no, I don't want to wear that. Like, that's so uncool. Like, everybody's asking me questions, and like, it just looks ugly, looks stupid. Like, I didn't want to fit in. I
Yeah.
didn't want just over it.
And you're a teenager, so all those questions about scoliosis, and it's like enough.
I like, shut up, leave me alone. Wear purses back then. So
Okay.
it was purse on my back. My mom used to always tell me, make sure you switch your shoulders. Do not leave it on one shoulder because then you complain that your back is hurting you and you wonder why.
I remember those days.
But I had to wear a purse. Everybody was wearing purses, looking cute. It's high school, you get into that girly girl stages of
Style,
life, the makeup and all that.
style
So
is
you don't want to
important.
wear like
Yeah.
you don't.
So that was in high school, and you had
Mhm,
to as your mom said, switch the bag from one shoulder to
mhm.
the other, as we all, like anybody who has scoliosis, or even some people who don't, still understand that. And then, did your curves get worse as time progressed?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
share with us a little bit about that?
They've gotten worse. Like, so I started to really just start to stand on one side of my leg more than the other, and not realizing. Or I used to just like sit certain ways that I was just allowing more pressure on one side, and I didn't realize that that's what I was doing, but it just felt more comfortable that way. Like,
Mm.
I breathe better and stuff, and I started to notice like there was more pain, like gliding more, like higher up on my spine.
Okay.
And I would bend down and I would try to always like feel it, and I would feel the difference, like from the top of my spine where it's straight and where it would just start to curve and curve.
Okay.
And now at this point in my life, it's like a S, because it starts from the middle of my back and it goes like this.
Okay.
It's sort of like the pictures that I've taken. Like, I
Okay.
try to get it kind of similar to that.
Hmm.
My best friend actually helped me put the diamonds on, and we were like on crunch time, so we tried to just get it as close as we could, but it's about the same thing. So it's like a S now.
Okay. Okay. And
It
do you?
gets worse. Timber, relax, okay? Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Do you know what your curves are? Do you
No,
know
like,
what the numbers are?
no, I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay. And
Oh,
you,
wow, that's a but
I'm sorry?
I said I haven't been to the doctor for an X-ray in a while.
Okay. Okay. So you just talked a little bit about your best friend helping you to put the diamonds on.
Hmm. Timber, stop
And
it.
if anybody knows Darlene on Instagram, you'll know that she's a model, which I'd like to
Yes.
jump into. How is this with scoliosis? I know that there are some models there are a lot of people that have scoliosis, but how is it, and how is it in the modeling world with your curves? How it, like, how is it? Are you looked at differently? Do I,
Mm, I wouldn't say that I was looked at differently, because like, when I'm modeling, I know how to hold my posture and
okay,
stuff. So I mean, it's not that I'm not in pain while I'm doing so, like holding a certain pose, or just like either even standing there waiting to like get picked on in heels and just standing there, or at a casting. It's like there's like just pressure, and it's like a burning sensation
hmm,
on, it goes from like the top of my spine to my lower back, and it's just like, my hips just start feeling like they have so much weight on them sometimes. Even right now, it's sitting down in this position, like, it's like after like even sitting, like I'm trying to like stand up straight, because I feel like it's just like at certain times when I'm not standing up straight, there's a lot of pressure. But and then when I'm like this, I feel like I can't breathe
okay,
as well as when I'm like standing up straight.
okay, yeah, because I read that at sometimes you have to take breaks with being in a photo shoot.
Yeah. Sometimes like they'll want me to hold pose. I'm just like, hold on, wait, let's give me a second. Like, I need to like just gather my back real quick. That position hurts or something, but it's never stopped me. It's never stopped me from like doing a certain pose. Like, there's always things that I can do, and I'm one to Like I can endure pain. I can endure pain a lot. And I would say that as the years progressed with this with scoliosis, I'm able to just ignore it sometimes. Like it's just a part of me. Like
Okay.
it literally just becomes a part of me, and I just don't think about it until I'm like really like focused, or it'll just come to me and it's just like a shock or something. Like I feel like a shock in my back. I'm just like, oh snap! Like stand up straight or sit up
Okay.
straight. Like
Okay.
your back. You have to always make sure you have keep a good posture. You have scoliosis.
Because I find it so interesting because, like, I mean, we've got some years difference between us, but when I was diagnosed, there was so much stigmatism towards scoliosis, and I came from a ballet background, so people would see my back.
Oh wow! I used to. I started to do ballet around 13, 14 years old, but it
Okay.
was like nothing really huge. I just went to a couple of classes that my mom paid for, and then I looked up things on YouTube. But that was hard doing that.
Yeah, but they saw I I was rejected at LaGuardia
Oh really?
because they
Mm,
saw, so I had surgery, so they saw my scar, and I was rejected right away. So I find it really interesting how everything has evolved over time, and you having the career in modeling that you have, I think I love that how it's changed,
mhm,
and your pictures and your images and the acceptance of what your body endures in a world that looks picture perfect in air quotes.
mhm. Okay, I like that.
It's, I mean, the
That's a
modeling world.
term to use.
So it's just kudos to the industry, and you're helping to bring that
Yeah, thank
to
you,
the
thank you.
table. Absolutely.
I do plan to do more because people really love that. Like I actually got a couple people that actually not a couple, just about three people that hit me up and said, that, "Oh wow, was really inspired by it." Like I love these pictures. They warm my heart. Like I have scoliosis too, and I never thought I could be a model. I even screenshotted it. I posted it at the time, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this made me cry." Like
Yeah.
it's like you don't really like yeah, I tried to bring awareness to it, but I wasn't bringing awareness to it as in like I have scoliosis, so you can do it too. But I guess that message does still apply
Yeah.
to girls or even guys or kids who want to be a model or want to do stuff and they feel like they can't do it because they have scoliosis or any condition,
Right. Right.
really.
Yeah. Your exposure is bigger than you ever thought it would be.
Yeah,
And
I mean, that thing was last year. Yeah, like last year was it? Yeah, last year. And I never thought a year later I would be in a podcast for it. Like, still bringing awareness to it. I was when I seen that, I was like, oh my god, it still warms my heart that these are still getting acknowledged because
yeah.
it really is something really special to me. Like, I wanted that shoot to be a certain way, and it actually exceeded my expectations.
No.
It makes
Well,
me want to cry, but
it's just us.
yep.
It's just us. But that's why I wanted to have you on the show, because I think that there are people out there who, when they hear your story, they're like, if she can do it, I can do it.
Exactly.
And it takes away this underlying conversation, or conversation that isn't happening. And there's so much that's going on, as you even recently said in one of your posts, like we're living through this iconic time,
Mhm.
and your exposure of being a model, being a top model, being
Mhm.
in vogue, and having
Oh, she's
scoliosis,
thanks.
having scoliosis, it doesn't, somehow the two don't match, but they're coming together during
They
this
are.
time.
A lot of awarenesses are coming together, and I'm happy to see that there are people with disabilities too, like that are becoming models now. Like everybody can do it because
Right.
everyone's different. We're all No one's perfect, so that whole like photographic or like stigma that we all have to be a certain way.
Right.
Like we're all
Right.
different. We need
Right.
to bring that to awareness. Like,
And,
and I'm happy that you even have me on here. So I'm incredibly grateful. You don't know, like,
well, that's why I wanted to have you on the show, because
thank
you do
you.
offer so much on, there's I say this quite a lot, you don't know what you can't see.
Exactly. You don't know
You know,
who's actually watching you
right,
too.
right.
You don't know. You might not know who can you inspire just by being yourself, or just by doing, just doing certain
Just
things, or
just doing
just
you.
speaking on things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just doing you and just being who you are, and
Mhm.
I like, I can't say it enough, but I think that that's one of the beautiful messages that are in your posts.
Yeah. Thank you.
But Darlene, what would you like to say to somebody if they're hearing this for the first time and they've been diagnosed with scoliosis and they're like, I feel alone, I feel stuck, I don't know what to do.
Oh, man.
What is what is what is something that you would say to that person?
I would say get up every day because you have to do it, and don't let anything stop you. There's nothing you can't do. There's things you can do to help you relieve pain, but there's nothing. Don't allow yourself to be stuck, because you have to just keep moving forward. Your life goes on. You're like you're strong, or if you're not strong, start working out and do these exercises, and you'll build strength, and eventually you'll be able to just conquer the world. I don't really know what to say, but
You just
that's my advice.
you just said it. You just said it. Darlene, if people would like to find you on social media, which is the best platform to reach out to you?
You guys can reach me out on my Instagram. It's Darlene_XOXO. That's my model profile.
And
It's
if
best me there.
you don't know Darlene, you do now. Go check her out. Go check out her page. Go check out those diamonds along her spine. It is a stunning picture. And Darlene, I would like to thank you for being a guest on the Scoliosis podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.